joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism, right? Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimping and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooking baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. See, that's the difference nigga. The pimpin' mashing for these riches nigga. Nothing like you master magician niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route. And working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scar bitch, that's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Come on pimpin' man, pop that shit. Excuse my pimping. Sometimes this technology just, have a mind of its own and get to working against the pimp. But we're gonna get right into this shit though. Y'all already know, once again, man, if you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button. And I'm going to put some love in my body as usual. And we going to get right to this game, man. Look like everything's smooth now, so we good. Yeah, man. As I was saying before, technology rudely interrupted my pimping. I don't want y'all to think this is me coming for somebody in particular or coming for anybody in particular. I don't want you to think that I'm being a hater. I don't want you to think that I'm, against these, or, I got anything against these people, right? I ain't got nothing against these people. More power to them, blessings to them. But at the same time, as a lover of this game, as somebody who's passionate about this game, as somebody who lives this game, as somebody who is this game in the flesh, it is my duty to separate game from lame when I see Lame trying to pass himself off his game, right? I can't stand by. It's like you just standing off to the side watching your kid get beat up by a bigger kid, a stronger kid than your kid, right? Not that these people is bigger and stronger than the game, but it's like, to see something you love, to stand aside and watch it get misused and misrepresented, you just can't do that, right? And I can't do that. So I gotta chop this game with y'all, man. Now, this is just something that I've paid attention to and that I've noticed, right? Because me, I'm a person, I don't just take things for face value. I look beyond the surface. I'm the type of individual, I'm going to look through muddy water and spot dry land, right? So I like to understand things, right? And I'm a sponge for information. You dig? So I soak up information everywhere I go, everything I tune into, right? And at the same time, I pay attention to the source of the information. See, this is what I want y'all to understand, right? This is what I want y'all to pay attention to, because a lot of y'all tune into the internet for game, and a lot of times you don't pay attention to the source of the game and the validity of the source of the game and how official the source of the game is or is not, right? When you don't know a lot about what you're seeking to learn about, and there's somebody who knows more than you, and they sound convincing, they sound good, they articulate themselves well, they communicate themselves well, it can be convincing to the untrained eye, mind, and ear, right? So that's where pimp come in. But what I want y'all to pay attention to is that, whenever it is that you seeking to learn something and soak some game up, pay attention to the source that you're getting it from, right? Because a lot of charlatans out here. It's a lot of, it's a lot of deception going on out here, right? And it's a lot of people on the internet capitalizing on your naivety, capitalizing on the fact that you don't know no better, capitalizing on the fact that you are just so eager to learn. You just so eager that you'll take it from anywhere and anybody. And it don't matter who it's coming from, where it's coming from, as long as it sounds good, as long as it sounds like something that you're not familiar with, that you could benefit from, you're going to soak it up. But, hey, man, everybody don't know what they talking about. And me, fortunately, y'all got somebody like me who don't just be going. I don't just believe everything people say on the internet. I don't believe most of what people say on the internet, right? And, I was blessed with the gift of discernment, man. So I know how to pay attention to the right stuff in order to, like I said, separate game from lame. So, as y'all can probably see from the thumbnail, man, it's several individuals who stand out when it comes to this, I guess you could say, dating coach thing. Now, I don't really, first of all, I don't consider myself a dating coach. I ain't no damn dating coach at all. You know what I mean? Message. Notifications going off and shit. But yeah, man, pimp ain't no dating coach, man. I'm just somebody with a lot of game, and I like to share the game with people, and it's no ulterior motive like it can be with some of these people. I just like with people, man, and inspiring people to be better through the game, right? But it's several people out here, man, that seem very convincing, but when you pay attention, man, they not it. And I'm not like I said, I'm not here to hate on anybody, but at the same time, I have to call a spade a spade. Pimp can't spare nobody this sword. You dig? So let me get into these first people. Hold on. Cue this shit up. Come on. Golly. Okay. Hold on. Give me just a second. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right. Here we go. Now, this is an interview I was watching not too long ago. This is Fresh and Fit being interviewed by Pat Bet David on the Valuetainment podcast, right? Hold on. Now, this is them giving their introduction as to their background or whatever the case may be. And I'm gonna skip through different parts, but let's just take a listen real quick.
Rock, paper, scissors to see who gets often hated, never duplicated. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they call me Fresh from the Fresh Fit podcast. I'm 29 years old. I used to be in tech, used to do programming and coding as well. And basically, I used to do YouTube prank videos. So I started doing videos on YouTube, like gold digger pranks, all these pranks videos, stuff like that. And I did an interview with a friend of ours, and he connected us together. We spoke on an hour-long phone call regarding dating, lifestyle, money, success, and we said, hey, you know what? Let's do a podcast. We did.
You guys had never met prior to this phone call?
Never met before.
And this is how long ago, by the way?
This is probably like a year and a half ago.
Going on almost 2 years now.
So you guys have only known each other less than 2 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
We met through another YouTuber. Shout out to our guy, Solo TV 84. He linked this up together.
Got it. All right, as you were, Walt.
Yeah, and then we spoke for an hour, had similar like mindset.
Okay, so they talking about how they met. And, dude was in tech, so pretty much a nerd. And I don't want y'all to think I'm coming for the nerds, man. Shout out to the nerds. Ain't nothing wrong with being a nerd. But, if you want to consider yourself a tech guru because that's your world, then that's cool. You know what I mean? But for somebody that, dealing with women on a regular basis, successfully, that's my world. You dig? So, yeah, so let's continue.
In Texas, people don't. I was in Laredo, Texas, which for those that don't know, it's on the Mexican border. There's nothing there.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like absolutely nothing there. It's a small
Title
little
would
border
like
town.
it.
Okay, so hold on. I'm trying to get to the part where this guy's talking about where he got his game from.
Social hierarchies and, being on a team or having some kind of social status on campus is very important. And then once I got out of college, I was like, okay, well, now I don't have the social status like that anymore. What am I going to do? And that's when I kind of had to relearn everything as far as like operating it in the real world. And then I went off to Texas. That's where I was doing my career. I spent several years just like working, seizing drugs and seizing legal firearms, all that stuff. And then it wasn't until I came back to Miami, or I came to the Miami field office at 28. And that's when I like really like started dialing in on like trying to like learn how to do cold approach again, learning how to get really good women again. And then,
hey, and listen, man. Hey, I know a lot of the nerds out there, a lot of the people that is really serious about dating coaches and all that shit. I know I'm a ruffle a lot of feathers, man. But anytime I hear that language, anytime I hear the term cold approach, I immediately think nerd. I immediately think somebody who don't talk to women on a regular basis. I immediately think somebody who ain't got no charm, no charisma, no communication skills when it comes to dealing with a woman, doesn't know how to appeal to a woman in any kind of way. Yeah, I just, when I hear that term cold approach, man, I immediately think lame. I immediately think somebody that's at the crib all day playing video games and watching Pornhub. You know what I mean? That's immediately what I think when I hear the term cold approach, man. So when he talking about cold approach, he's already, it's already a red flag to somebody like me who, by the definition of it, I've been cold approaching forever, but it was never no terminology to that shit. You know what I mean? These YouTube nerds or internet nerds, social media nerds that don't really be outside, you know, face to face with women on a regular basis came up with that shit cold approach. That shit sound lame as hell, man. But let's continue.
At that point, I think we had met when I was like 29 or 30.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, pretty much at that point doing really well with dealing with the ladies.
And you're in the scene at that time.
Yeah, I was at the scene because when I was in Texas, I was in Laredo, Texas, which for those that don't know, it's on the Mexican border. There's nothing there.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like absolutely nothing there. It's a small
Tyler
little
would
border
like
town.
it. He would love it over there. That's Tyler's area.
Don't hit on the lady.
But I loved it, man. I loved living in Texas. I loved Laredo. It's like a little part of me is still there. But when I was there, I was really focused on working. And then the other thing too is a small town, so like you'd arrest someone and like everyone was connected in some way. So I just didn't go out into the bars like that, whatever. And you stick out like a sore thumb because as someone who's not Mexican, you know me, I'm 6'3". My parents are from Sudan. I have a weird look. Like you don't forget me, right? So you'll see me in court, like, what the hell? I know what you do. So I just stayed inside most of the time playing video games, being a loser. And then when
Right, listen to what he said. He stayed inside most of the time playing video games, being a loser. You dig? And this is up until he said 28 years old, and that's when he started going out, you know, having a social life and all that type of stuff, because I didn't play that part, but I guess he was in law enforcement. He was some type of agent. I can't remember what agency he was a part of. I don't know if it was the DEA or something like that, but he was seizing drugs and stuff like that, arresting drug dealers and drug traffickers and all that type of stuff. So I'm guessing he was in the DEA or the feds or something. Whatever the case, he was in law enforcement and he was arresting people and stuff like that. So he was a nerd inside playing video games, in his words, being a loser. You dig? So and as y'all saw, they flashed the pickup artist on the screen because that's a part of where he got his game from, was the pickup artist and then reading different books and stuff like that. So a lot of these guys, philosophies, a lot of their point of reference, a lot of what they know comes from reading books and watching, I guess, other dating coaches, or watching, you know, TV shows like the pickup artists and specials and stuff like that. You know, a lot of their, I guess you could say, quote unquote, game comes from, you know, the same type of stuff that y'all can do. You know, the same type of stuff like, you know, reading and watching stuff online. Like, y'all can do the same thing. So it's like these guys really are on the same level as y'all. So if you want to learn from somebody, you want to learn from somebody who knows something that you don't know. At least that's how I am. You know, if I want to learn something about law, I'm not going to talk to a jailhouse lawyer. You know, if I'm sitting in jail, I'm not going to talk to somebody that's also sitting in jail that, you know, has studied as much of the law as I have or less, and I'm about to take legal advice from this person. No, I'm going to go to a professional. You dig? I'm going to go to somebody who knows things that I don't know. Somebody who has a certain type of expertise that I don't have, right? If I'm going to really soak up game and things like that. So then, hold on, let's continue. I just want to play this one little part real quick. Hold on. Hold up.
Artist, the book, the game.
Hold on, let me go back a few seconds more.
Sure you're clean type stuff, and these people, they have to get tested and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. I only went one time though. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So, but going back, so
Yeah.
for you guys, your philosophy, because the philosophy with women, with men, with dating, with marriage, with kids, with money, with finance, with health, everything is inspired through certain things. You talk about the mystery, you talk about the pickup artist, the book, the game, all of that, and then, you know, what you did in college when you kind of learned a little bit about the game. 3 years ago, you come to Miami, you learn. Who had the biggest influence on your philosophy, and what is really the core foundation of your philosophy?
You know, shout out to our guy Rollo Tomasi, man, good friend of ours. The Rational Male obviously was a great book. It you know, connected a lot of dots for me personally. And then, you know, because the thing is with the, you know, the Mystery Method, fantastic book, gives you a great insight as to, you know, how female psychology works when it comes to attraction and what they're aroused by. But
You see, so as I said, man, most of their expertise comes from, reading. And it's nothing wrong with reading and studying and things like that. But when it comes to dealing with people, man, you want somebody that's tried and true and somebody that's genuine, right? And, somebody that believes what they saying based on experience, not believes what they saying based on, study, and they haven't, applied what they've read to the point where they've become seasoned at it, right? See, these guys, nothing against them, but these are novices who just so happen to be diligent enough to create a platform, and they figured something out and it worked for them, and that's great. It's brilliant what they did, all of that. But when it comes to, giving somebody game, the information that they given is not based on facts. It's not based on experience. It's based on something that they read. Like, he also goes on, the guy on the left, he goes on to talk about, actually they both talk about their philosophy on marriage and why they wouldn't get married and things like that. And a lot of it is like, me versus her type of thing. Like if you pay attention to their language, their whole demeanor, like they outlook towards women, it's like us versus them type of thing. When if you really want cooperation from a woman, if you really want to be successful with women, it can't be a combative type of thing. It can't be a me versus her type of thing, because it like that, you're not going to get far. And from what it seems, I'm not the most savvy about none of these guys, right? But from what it seems like, a lot of what they preach has to do with, getting in bed with chicks, right? Like, I don't know, maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I think a lot of what they have to offer is to help people get in bed with chicks, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really hear nothing about them, advising how to be in a relationship, how to start a relationship, how to maintain a relationship. I don't really hear none of that. And they definitely ain't giving no marriage advice. Their marriage advice is don't get married in the U.S. because the laws favor the woman, and, get married in another state or another country, rather. If you gonna get married, go to another country, get married, and then come back to the U.S. That way, when it's time to get divorced, you don't have to deal with the laws in America that favor the woman. Now, if you go into a marriage situation with that mindset, you're already destined for failure immediately before you even take one foot, before you set one foot into marriage. You're already destined for failure, because, why are you going into the marriage anticipating the end? If that's the case, then why are you even getting married? If you're getting married, you should want to be getting married to somebody because, that's who you want to spend the rest of your life with. And if that's not the case, then why are you getting married? I'm a damn pimp, and I even got enough sense to know that. And I'm not getting married. And, my reason for not getting married is totally different than their reason for not getting married. Me getting married doesn't make sense for, who I am and what I stand for and how I live and, just everything about me. But I understand the concept of marriage, and I understand that marriage can be very beneficial for people, especially if you're a square. Marriage can be very beneficial for you. It can be healthy. It can bring happiness. It can bring fulfillment. It's a lot of beautiful things that can come out of marriage. I've seen it. time and time and time and time again. I've seen successful marriages last for decades. So, you know, these guys, on the other hand, like the dude on the left, you know, if y'all could go watch this interview, I'm a just, you know, speak on the parts of it that I know, because I haven't watched the whole thing. As you can see, the whole interview was 1 hour and 50 minutes. I haven't even watched the hour of it. I've watched less than an hour of it, maybe a little over half an hour. But the guy on the left, he talks about how when he was growing up, his mother told him don't marry an American woman because of this, that, and the third. And she had a laundry list of reasons not to marry an American woman. And then I believe he said his dad said, you know, some of the same things. He kind of echoed what the mom said. So, you know, he's already growing up, and then his parents are not from the U.S. They're from Sudan. So he was born here, though, I believe, and definitely was raised here in the U.S. So you're growing up in the U.S. and you have parents who are not from the U.S. advising you how to deal with women who are from the U.S. just like you. So that's already, you know, kind of, you know, a red flag too, because, you know, his philosophy as far as marriage is heavily based on what his mom tells him. You know what I mean? And his mom ain't never been in no relationship with no American woman. His mom ain't never been married to no American woman. So to take advice from your mom, who's from another country, about how to deal with women in the country that you're from is crazy. You know what I mean? First of all, taking advice from a female, period, on how to deal with women from a man's perspective is crazy. You dig? So that's him. Then the guy on the right, you know, he was pretty much a nerd his whole life, and never really neither one of these guys really, they never really had much experience or much history dealing with women. I don't think any of them have, I don't think either one of these guys has dealt with a woman, like one woman or even a couple women. But I don't think I don't think either one of these guys could point to one woman and say, yeah, I was dealing with her for a year. She and I dealt closely with each other for a year. I don't think either one of these guys could do that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If y'all know something that I don't, let me know. But from what I'm picking up, I don't think either one of these guys has dealt with a woman for a year or longer, for one, and then two, I don't think they have a lot of experience dating women. I don't think they have a lot of experience going out, meeting a chick at the mall, meeting a chick at the bar, meeting a chick at the grocery store, meeting a chick anywhere, you know, and being successful when it comes to that. You know, I just don't see it. Okay, you said Fresh was married. You know what? I think he might have said something about that in this interview. He did. But yeah, my point is basically these guys are nerds, and the beautiful thing about somebody like Kevin Samuels, for instance, right? This is why Kevin Samuels was perfect for, you know, giving advice. Even though I don't believe Kev considered himself a quote unquote dating coach. I don't think he accepted that title or claimed that title, but Kev was just perfect for, you know, giving advice because, see, the beautiful thing about somebody like him, he's made mistakes. He's been through it, made mistakes, learned from it, got better from it, moving forward, right? Now, some people might say, oh, you know, Kev wasn't nobody to take advice from. He done been married 2 or 3 times and none of his marriages worked, and, you know, he was single and this, that, and the third. But Kev was a smart guy. He was an intelligent guy whose comprehension was off the chain, whose ability to retain information was off the chain, communication skills off the chain, observation skills off the chain. So somebody like that is definitely going to learn from their experiences. And granted, Kev was much older than these guys, but at the same time, my point is you have people younger than Kev, like a Sinful to P. Sinful to P was in his 30s. And the beautiful thing about Sinful to P is that he's made a lot of mistakes. And he told you about the mistakes that he made dealing with women. That's why he's another person that was perfect to listen to, perfect to take advice from. Again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but how often do these guys tell you about their failures dealing with women and how they learned from their failures dealing with women? I don't know about that. Again, like I said, somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I don't get that vibe. Like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of their stuff. I've seen some of their stuff, but I'm not like a avid watcher and listener of these guys. So I can't really tell you their life story or nothing like that, but I don't know. You say they not really dating coaches, but Dave from the Bama, you say they not dating coaches, right? And they might not call themselves dating coaches, but correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, these guys have courses, and I don't know the curriculum of their courses, but I'm pretty sure their courses have something to do with dating. Pretty sure the courses that they sell have something to do with, dealing with women, right? Pretty sure they got some kind of product for sale that has, to do with that. So they might not claim the title of dating coaches, but they're selling advice for dating, right? Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, so that's what's going on with these guys, man. Like I said, I just see two nerds who came up with an idea together, executed the idea in a great way. They had great execution with their idea. It blew up. You know what I mean? One thing that I don't like about these guys is that they don't give Kevin Samuels his credit, because their interview with Kevin Samuels is really what gave them a major boost. And that was a pivotal point for them, having Kevin Samuels on their podcast. But they don't, they didn't, again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but in this interview, I don't think they mentioned anything about Kevin Samuels. They mentioned a couple other guys, like they mentioned the guy who introduced them, and then they just mentioned the guy who helped them, develop their philosophy on dealing with women, which both of those guys were two different YouTubers. But I don't really see these guys giving credit to Kevin Samuels. And I remember when Kev was still living that they had a little friction with Kev. You dig? And see, that's what's lame too, right? See, me, if I fall off with somebody or I have a disagreement with somebody, I can still keep it real about that somebody. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they still got a chip on their shoulder about Kev, or let me see when this interview came out. This might have been, yeah, matter of fact, so this interview came out when Kev was still alive. You dig? They dropped this interview before Kev passed away. So maybe they still had a chip on their shoulder about Kev when they did this interview. I don't know. But I do recall them kind of like having some friction with Kev, if I'm not mistaken. You dig? But Kev got a lot to do with their success. Kev gave these dudes a major alley-oop. You know what I mean? I never heard of these dudes before Kev. That's how I found out who they was through Kev. You know what I mean? And I just don't like when somebody don't give people their credit. You know what I mean? And if they would have stayed cool with Kev, I think they'd be a lot sharper than what they are. And they'd be a lot more successful than what they are. And they probably wouldn't have had some of the bumps in the road that they've had, like YouTube demonetizing them, for instance. They got this big-ass YouTube platform with going on 2 million subscribers. I think they're going on 2 million. I don't think they've reached 2 million yet. But, yeah, they got this big platform that's demonetized. And a lot of it has to do with the type of friction that they have with women. You know what I mean? Talking derogatory about black women when both of them is black. The dude on the left, I'm not even sure if he identifies himself as a black man, but he is. You know what I mean? Your parents is from Africa. But, yeah, man, I don't know. But like I said, that's the one thing that I do not like about these guys. The other stuff I don't really have an issue with. You know, if people are naive enough to, you know, take advice from somebody who ain't experts at what they talking about and not the experts they trying to portray themselves to be, that's on you. But what I don't like is people who get assistance from somebody, who get love from somebody, and then don't give that individual credit where it's due. You dig? I don't dig that, man. That ain't cool. Three the Hardaway. Good looking with the $50 holler. Hey, Freeze, did you ever meet King Nice out of New Orleans? Sinful said the guy made him a beast and turned his game up. $1 million story, and I like how it correlates to how he solidified y'all's relationship, or y'all's friendship, excuse me. No, I never had the opportunity to meet Nice. I spoke with Nice on the phone a few times. Actually, more than a few times. Yeah, me and Nice talked on the phone, you know, quite a few times, but unfortunately I never had the opportunity to meet Nice. You know, we was always missing each other, and it's crazy because everybody else was around Nice, like my other partner Julian J, who also is no longer with us. Long live Julian J. Julian J met Nice. They was cool. You know, my brother Smooth, shout out to Smooth. Smooth met Nice, was cool with Nice. And, you know, everybody had a lot of good things to say about Nice. And from, you know, me talking to him on the phone, I know he was cool. I know he was a crafty individual as well, you know what I mean? But, you know, Nice was cool, though. Shout out to Nice. Long live Nice, man. But, yeah, man. Droz Andrew say, KS called into their show and it went viral. That's not putting someone on. They did joint pods way before the viral. Wait, so you said Kev called into their show and it went viral, but that didn't put him on? What do you call that then? Why do you think it went viral? Didn't it go viral because it was Kevin Samuels calling in? Pretty sure other people done called in and it didn't go viral. That's putting somebody on. But if hey, I'm glad you said that, man. That's a great question, man. Hold on. CLE Fetty, you say how Saint and Sinner a nerd. Glad you asked that question, man. Hold on. Let me show you how he's a nerd. Great question. Hold on. Okay, there we go, right there. Great question. How is the Saint and the Sinner a nerd? You tell me. We're going to go somewhere and I'm going to show you, and then you tell me. Right? D, you funny as hell. Damn, I don't know what my shit tripping, my internet tripping. Hold on, let me do something real quick while we wait for that. But yeah, man, dude is an absolute nerd. And like I said, it's nothing wrong with being a nerd, man. I just don't like people who try to pretend that they something that they not. I don't like people that's not gangsters that try to act like gangsters. I don't like people that's not pimps that try to act like pimps. I don't like people that's not businessmen who try to act like businessmen. I don't like people that's not financially literate who try to act like they financially literate. I don't like people that try to act like they spiritually in tune when they not spiritually in tune. And I don't like people that try to act like they got game when they don't got game. You know what I mean? See, it appears like he's everything he says he is to y'all because y'all are not what he says he is. But when you are what he pretends to be, then you know when it's fake or not. You know what I mean? That's just like, excuse me. Hold on. What is going on? Okay. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. Let me show you. You know what I mean? You ask why is he a nerd? How is he a nerd, right? How is he a nerd? That's what you said. Fetty. Brother Bill. Hold on, man. Brother Bill, good looking with the $2 holler, you dig? Glory to God for this game. Salute, brother. Salute to you, Bill. Appreciate you, man. And also, Tyler, as always, good looking with the $2 holler, you dig? Blessings, hit the like button. Appreciate you, man. Okay, now, you ask how is he a nerd? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, now I know I ain't wrong because this guy does claim to be a pimp, right? He does claim to be a pimp. I know I ain't tripping. I've heard him claim the pimp title on various occasions, right? But just listen to this. This is his oldest. I don't know if this is his first video on YouTube, but this is definitely his oldest video that is currently on YouTube. So if it's not his first, it's among his first. But just listen to this guy.
It was 2007. I was just moving into a co-op at the University of California, Berkeley. There was only one other black guy in the whole building. Maybe like a month in, I get a knock on my door at 10 p.m. Open the door. Guess who it is? 6'4", gay black guy. I'm like, fuck is he doing here?
Now, see, I know y'all think I'll be nitpicking because I always go back to this video whenever I talk about this dude. But this can't be overlooked. You have to pay attention to this type of stuff. And he talking about in 2007, he was fresh in Berkeley, and a 6'4" gay black dude who he claims to not have known shows up at his door at 10 at night, 10 o'clock in the evening, 10 o'clock at night, when a lot of people are asleep because they got to get up early in the morning and go to school. This dude having late night rendezvous at your door and you trying to pretend like you don't know why. Come on, man. Stop that. This is your introduction to the pimping? A 6'4" gay black dude? Let's continue.
And he has a book in his hand. It's a silver book, pink title, and hands it to me. Says, you need to read this. Look at the book. It's called Pimp, Story of My Life by Iceberg Slim.
So this is his introduction to the game. A 6'4" gay black dude comes to his door at 10 o'clock at night and hands him Iceberg Slim's book, Pimp. Prior to this, he knows nothing about the game. Prior to this, he's not even thinking about the game. Prior to this, he has no interest in the game. But when this 6'4" gay black dude mysteriously pops up at your door at 10 o'clock at night. See, people don't just pop up at your door unannounced at 10 o'clock at night. For him to have done that, see, that's what this will let you know the boy ain't got no damn game. You can't convince me. You might convince people who don't know no better, but you can't convince me that this guy didn't know you. Just think about it. How many times a stranger done showed up at your door? How many of y'all have ever even heard of this before? Unless it's an emergency type situation, you know what I mean? Stranger show up at your door like, oh, my house just got broke into and my phone ain't working. I need to use your phone to dial 911 or, I'm locked out. You know, I locked myself out of my house. You know, can I use your phone to go call somebody to get my spare key? You know what I mean? Oh, dang, I locked my keys in the car, man. Would you happen to have AAA, man? Can you do me a favor, man? I'm sorry to bother you, man. I know it's late. That's the way people show up to your door at 10 o'clock at night. Nobody who doesn't know you shows up to your door at 10 o'clock at night to hand you a book. And then it's a gay 6'4" black dude. That don't happen, man. That's fake. You know what I mean? He probably had more than just a book for you. You know what I mean? He was trying to book them cheeks too. You know what I mean? Man had some cupcakes for you too. And some honey. And some more freaky deaky shit. You know what I mean? It was some freaky stuff going on, man. Just keep that thing 1,000 wow. You know? But yeah, man. This is this guy's introduction to the game.
I'm thinking, what is a graduate student, an academic, doing with a book called Pimp by someone named Iceberg Slim, which is it's not even a real name.
That's what lets you know he's a nerd as well. You know what I mean? It's not even a real name. Only nerds think about shit like that. This isn't even your real name. Why should I call you Iceberg Slim? That's not even a real name. That's some shit that a nerd would say. And like I said, man, it is okay to be a nerd. I need to make a video with that title, man. It's okay to be a nerd and talk about the great things that come with being a nerd. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to be a nerd. Shout out to the nerds, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being a nerd. But, you know, nerds aren't usually the most popular guys. I know everybody wants shit that they don't have and wish they always did have. And popularity is one of those things that everybody wants. Well, not everybody, but most people want to be popular. Most people want to be one of the cool kids. And it's obvious that this guy always wanted to be one of the cool kids, but never was one of the cool kids. But hey, this beautiful thing called social media is so strong and prevalent now. And it allows people to get on and pretend to be something that they never were, but always wanted to be. Shit, I can get on the internet and be anything I want to be. I could be a pimp. I could be a dating coach. I could be a guru. I could be a business expert, investment expert. I could be stylish. You know, all this shit that I always wished I could be, but never was. I could be that now. You know, and see, once you get notoriety on the internet, it's easy to get women and deal with women then. But, so getting down to the nitty gritty of the shit though, right? Cause I, you know, it just be a strong, compelling urge to roast this guy whenever he's talked about, but just beyond some roasting shit on some real shit, right? If you pay attention to how he deals with women, I haven't seen a whole lot of interactions between him and women, but the few interactions that I've seen between him and women is just like the fresh and fit dudes. It's us versus them, me versus her. It's like he going to war. He's in combat whenever he dealing with a woman. You know, he like when he was on the whatever podcast, he was picking fights with the girls and starting shit and just, you know, wasn't being smooth, wasn't being fly, just being awkward. You know that little boy in elementary school? Hey, it's some ladies in here. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Shout out to the ladies though, right? Hey, but ladies, was you that little girl in elementary school that it was a little boy that went to your school and he used to always pull your hair and call you names and pick on you and push you around and stuff like that? Was you that little girl in elementary school? Hey, and come to find out, really the dude, he was doing all of that because he liked you. He had a crush on you, but he didn't know how to communicate that to you. And he was a weirdo. He was eating paint chips and, you know, picking boogers and saving them in his pocket. And, you know, he was just, you know, an introvert. He didn't really have no friends, but, you know, he was great at math and reading on a college level in the 3rd grade and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? That's him. That's who this guy is. This is the guy that was pulling your hair in the 3rd grade and pushing you around and calling you names because he liked you. He wasn't the guy, you know what I mean? He wasn't a little kid that, you know, hand you a flower. You know what I mean? He wasn't a little kid that, you know, read a poem to you. He wasn't the little kid that, you know, has something smooth to say or just simply compliment you like, hey, I like your hair. You know what I mean? I like your smile. He wasn't that kid. He was socially awkward. And from an early age, he just didn't know how to deal with girls. You know what I mean? So he was that kid with boogers in his pocket, crusty as hell, you know what I mean, eating paint chips. You know, he had all the comics, all the comic books, you know what I mean? He had all the Spider-Man comic books, all the Incredible Hulk comic books. Matter of fact, he had the Incredible Hulk shoes too. You know what I mean? He didn't just have the Incredible Hulk comic books. He had the Incredible Hulk shoes. He had the Incredible Hulk Halloween costume. You know what I mean? That's this guy. That's him. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. But just, you know, like I said, one thing that you don't really hear from these guys, at least that I'm not the most savvy about these dudes, but you don't hear them talk about their history and their failures in dealing with women. And anybody that's an expert, they've definitely got failures. I don't know somebody that's an expert at anything that didn't have failures along the way. You know what I mean? But somebody, again, correct me if I'm wrong. When do these guys talk about where they failed in dealing with women and how they learned from their failures? Ralph Dupree, good looking with the $5 holler, you dig? Laugh out loud. How did this man even know where you stayed? Know where I stayed? He ain't never knew where I stayed. If he did, it's probably an old ass address from 20 years ago. Or maybe he might have posted an old ass address of Sinful's. Because I remember Sinful's address got put on the internet a few years ago. But my address, I don't know. I never knew he knew where I stayed. But yeah, man, that, like I said, that's the type of little kid he was. And, you know, just no real see, when you're a genuine person, I don't know, at least from my perspective, man, I'm genuine. I don't try to make myself seem like something that I'm not. You know what I mean? I just don't have no problem with the truth about myself, who I really am and what I really am. I don't, you know, I'm cool with that. You dig? I'm just me. But, you know, one thing about when you genuine, it's just, I don't know, me, man, I just have the ability to identify, you know, genuine people and fraudulent people. You dig? That's just me though. Adrian Thomas, good looking with the $20 holler. You dig? Much appreciated. But yeah, like I said, I you know, and then especially when you get to talking about this pimping, there's no way you're gonna fake that with me. And I don't know every pimp. I don't have to know every pimp. But as soon as you start talking, I'm gonna know if you really about this life, if you really lived it, if it's the truth, or if it's false. I'm gonna know immediately within the first 10 seconds of you talking. I'm gonna know if you really done pimped or not, if you really done lived this life or not. I'm gonna know. You know what I mean? Cause this is what I know for real. You know what I mean? So when somebody get on the internet talking like this pimping, I just know. Like I said, I don't have to know everybody, but I know what's real though. I know what's real, and I know what's not real. And this guy never ever was a pimp. You know what I mean? Let me put some more of this love in my body. Jack Mack, good looking with the $5 holler, man. Can you go from being someone who tricked all the time to get women to somebody who is a player? I ain't gonna say it's impossible, but I will say it's highly unlikely. But you know, I don't know a whole bunch of tricks, and I don't hang out with tricks or follow tricks history and stuff like that. So I can't tell you. You know, of course I've known tricks, but I can't tell you somebody who used to be a trick and they evolved into a player. I don't know anybody like that. So I'm not gonna sit here. See, that's a prime example of, you know, I'm not going to sit here and try to, you know, give you some expertise on that when I don't know about that. You dig? Or I don't have a point of reference for that, you know. But what I do know is that, you know, a real trick ain't got no problem being a trick. See, let me tell you the difference between a trick and a player, right? What makes them so different and why a player most likely ain't going, you know, become a full-fledged trick. A player might do some tricking, but 9 times out of 10, a player ain't going to be a full-fledged trick, and a full-fledged trick ain't going to be a player, right? See, these are some differences between the two. See, a real trick, a genuine trick, a professional trick doesn't trick out of desperation. Right? Because, hey, I'm not going to say no names, but there's some high profile celebrities that y'all admire who are tricks. There's some guys that are considered sex symbols that women, you know, worship the ground that they walk on, that are tricks. Right? Now, you got some guys that might trick out of desperation because in their mind, that's the only way they can get up close and personal with a woman is if they doing some tricking. But a real, genuine, professional trick, right? A seasoned trick. The real reason why they trick is so they can get what they want, and that's it. They don't have to deal with all the attachments that come with, you know, being a player or being in a relationship with somebody. And, you know, they only want one thing from this somebody. It's different from being in a relationship with somebody because you genuinely like that person or you love that person. That's not why tricks deal with 304s. That's not why tricks trick. Tricks trick so they can get what they want, and that's it. The trick, that's really a trick. He don't want to sit up there and lay with you. He don't want to hear about your problems. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to become a problem of yours. He doesn't want you to become a problem of his. He don't want to be personal with you. He don't want to get into a relationship with you. He don't want to get to know you like that. He just want to pay you to leave. That's what a real trick want to do. He want to give you the money, handle the business, and then part ways. Right? So, of course, you have various different tricks who trick for different reasons, but I'm saying like the true essence of a real trick. That's why they trick. They trick so you could leave. So they ain't got to deal with your ass. Right? A player, on the other hand, now tricks and players, they have some of the same objectives. A player might have a little bit more objectives than a trick, but let's just say, let's just talk about the intimacy part of it, right? A trick tricks for intimacy. They trick for other things too. You know what I mean? They might just want the company of a woman or something like that. You know what I mean? They might want to pour their heart out to a woman or something like that, and let the woman be their therapist or psychologist or something like that, and then part ways after that, after they session. But the player, on the other hand, he wants intimacy too. But see, the player gonna deal with a lot more than the trick is. The player is gonna invest more in these ladies than the trick is. He's going to invest more time. You know what I mean? He's going to invest more thought, more creativity, because, players can be very creative. They're going to be a lot more deeply invested in a woman than a trick is, right? The player, and then the player is dealing with different women, and a lot of times the player who got these different women, the different women don't know about each other. Now, you got players that got different women that do know about each other, or at least they know they're not the only one. But you got a lot of players, too, that deal with different women. And whether they know about each other or not, if they cross paths with each other, or if they know one of the other ones is getting too much time for their liking, it's going to be a problem. So the player is going to a lot of times deal with more issues than the trick is. You know what I mean? But, it's in the nature of a player. It come with the game, so the player is cool with that. You know what I mean? The player understands that, it's going to be times where, these chicks get into it. They have friction with each other, or, I have a problem with this chick because she knows that this other chick over here, wherever she is getting too much of my time for her liking. So, that's going to be a problem. Or, this chick over here just gave me her tax return and it was $2,000, but this other chick over here just gave me her tax return and it's $5,000. So, of course, I'm going to spend more time with the $5,000 one, but the $2,000 one got a problem with that. You know what I mean? And she don't understand why I'm spending more time with the $5,000 one, but the $5,000 one don't live as good as the $2,000 one. You know what I mean? The one who gave me the $2,000, she got better credit. She don't have no kids. She got her own place. She responsible. She clean. She cook for me. She iron my clothes, do my laundry. But the one who gave me the $5,000, she got 3 kids by 10 baby daddies. You know what I mean? She got an attitude. She lazy. Her house always a mess when I come over there. I don't want to set my wallet down or set my phone down or hang my jacket up nowhere because I feel like it's going to get stains on whatever I touch. So when I go to her house, I don't want to sit down. I don't want to set nothing down. I don't want to touch nothing. I don't even want to use her bathroom because her toilet be a mess. Her bathroom be a mess. You know what I mean? So it be that's all the type of stuff that a player going to deal with. But the trick ain't going to do all that. Trick just going to pay the broad, and then part ways. You know what I mean? The trick don't know how she live because he ain't going to her house. The trick ain't trying to be her boyfriend. So that's why I say that is very, and like I said, the type of player that I just described isn't the only type of player. Just like the type of trick that I described isn't the only type of trick. So, there's various different types of tricks who trick for different reasons, just like it's various different types of players who play for different reasons. But what I just broke down as far as the trick and the player is, general. It's the highest likelihood or the most frequent type of trick you're going to see and the most frequent type of player you're going to see, right? And as you see the contrast between the two, it's very unlikely that the trick is going to stop tricking and be a player. And see, the reason why you asked that question, Jack Mack, is because you thinking like, damn, man, tired of tricking on these females, man. I'm tired of, spending my money on these chicks, man. Maybe I need to just be a player. But think about what's going to come. Because in that case, you just want some sex and you being cheap and you don't want to pay for it no more. So you thinking you're going to get it for free being a player. But as you see what I just said, because that's the type of player you would attempt to be, Jack Mack. You know what I mean? If you endeavored to be a player, you would be the type of player that I just described. You know what I mean? You would be the type of player who got different women and, they don't know about each other and they going to get jealous of each other and it's going to be a lot of friction and all that type of stuff. But if you pay attention, there's a price to pay either way. On one hand, the price is monetary. On the other hand, the price is energy, attention, time. You know what I mean? So you might be better off just staying a trick. You know what I mean? Because your energy and your time and your efforts and all of that could be applied towards something else. And all you got to do is hand this chick some money to get the same desired effect. You know what I mean? The same outcome. You thinking because a player ain't necessarily spending money to get what they want that it's free. Nah. You paying a big price as a player, man. So, yeah, just stick to tricking, man. Ain't nothing wrong with tricking. Tricking is cool. Ralph Dupree. Nah, P, I'm saying, how did the 6'4" dude know where the ain't in the beginner stage? Yeah, for real. Nah, you right. Yeah, nah, you right about that. Like, how did he even know where he stayed? And let alone, how did he know where he stayed, but how did he know that it was okay to go there at 10 o'clock at night? You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. Like, because know where he stayed, he might have seen him coming and going. So that ain't like a big mystery. They both live in the same building, I'm guessing. So they probably see each other coming and going. You see your neighbors. You might not never talk to your neighbors, ain't never had a conversation with your neighbors, but you see them and you know where they stay at. So I get that part. But the showing up at 10 o'clock at night, unannounced, that's what I'm not going for. That don't happen unless you know it's okay to do that. Unless you've done that before and you know that it's okay to do that. You don't just show up at somebody's house at 10 o'clock at night unannounced and you don't know that it's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, like I said, man, the thing about guys like this, where's the mistakes? How did you learn? What did you learn from? Now, this guy, you know what I mean? I don't really know a whole lot about him. And from the little bit that I've seen, he doesn't really talk much. He might throw a topic out there or have the ladies answer a question one by one. But I don't really know much about this guy. You know what I mean? But when you Google his name is Brian, I forget his last name, but Brian something, you find pictures like the one that's on the thumbnail. So he looked like, and then not just that, but his demeanor on the show, you could tell he's kind of a nerd too. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's as much of a nerd as the Canton the Pretender and Fresh and Fit, or as Sinful like to call him, Fresh and Trick. But yeah, I'm not sure. Hold on. Oh shit, tripping. Hold on. Jack Mack, good looking again with the $5 holler. I don't want to be a trick no more. I want somebody that really likes me and not as shallow as a transaction. Hey, see, I hear what you're saying, but this is just my expertise, Jack Mack. This is just my take on your situation, right? You want a better quality than you're receiving, but you don't want to pay for the quality that you want. That's what I'm getting from you. You know what I mean? You don't want to pay for that quality, man. You want better quality because you saying you want somebody that likes you. But if you being a player, it's not about somebody liking you. It's about you getting what you want without having to trick for it. Right? Because if you want somebody that likes you for you and it's not so shallow, then you wouldn't be asking about being a player. Or is it possible for a trick to transition or evolve into a player? You wouldn't be asking that. You would be asking like, what things can I look for in a woman to find somebody who, I want to find somebody who likes me for me. How do I go about that? What do I look for? You know what I mean? What should I be looking for in a woman? What are some signs that a woman is the type of woman that I'm looking for? You dig? What type of man do I have to be in order to get the type of woman that I want? These are the kind of questions you would be asking if you really wanted somebody to like you for you. But that's not what you want. You just want some higher quality 304ing for free. And, I don't know, maybe somebody around you or some people around you or somebody or something is making you feel ashamed of tricking. But listen to Freeze, man. There is nothing wrong with tricking. And just because everybody around you might be saying that it's wrong or that it ain't right and this, that, and the third, hey, they don't have to live in your shoes. They don't have to be in your skin. They don't have to go through what you go through, right? They don't have to be responsible for what you're responsible for. It's your life. And if you like tricking, then keep tricking. You know what I mean? I just advise you to do some higher caliber tricking. Maybe if that means that you have to slow down on the frequency of your tricking and the frequency is less, but the quality is more. Maybe that's what you might have to do. Trick on some higher caliber 304s. That might be the solution. But the solution ain't being a player. And the solution ain't, discontinuing, turning in your trick card. That's not the solution. The solution is doing some higher caliber tricking. You know what I mean? See, you probably messing with them chicks that when you show up to their end call, the end call smell like Camel cigarettes and body spray from Kmart, or body spray from Ross, You know what I mean? That, you know, you walk in and it's bra and panties all over the floor. It's a wig hanging up in the closet, or it's a wig on top of the lamp. You know what I mean? Sitting on the nightstand. You know what I mean? It's a used rubber in the bed. You know what I mean? But your trick ass still gonna lay down in the thing. You know, you dealing with them kind of women, and you need to step it up. You know what I mean? That little $50 or $80 or whatever it is, man, it ain't worth it. And you obviously don't like it because, you know, these type of women, these low caliber bras that you dealing with got you thinking like, damn, man, maybe I don't need to be tricking no more, man. This shit ain't right. This shit ain't working. And tricking in and of itself is not the problem. The caliber of the women that you are tricking on is the problem. And I'm here to tell you that there is a higher caliber of women to trick on. You know what I mean? Step your tricking up. That's what you do. Step your tricking up, man. But don't stop tricking, though. Don't stop tricking. Don't stop tricking, man. It's cool. You dig? But hold on. Yeah, so this Brian dude, man, I can't really go in on him because, hold on. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. Because he was kind of breaking down. He was comparing himself to Fresh and Fit because I guess according to him, Fresh and Fit be having criticism for him. You know what I mean? They be going in on him, I guess, or they've been talking about him.
Violet, can you read this? Oh, okay, here we go.
Hey, Brian, any plans on addressing the recent comments made about you by FNF? Some valid criticisms there, even though slightly hypocritical. Maybe making an appearance on their show to clear your name. Also, hi, Mary.
Sure.
Hi. What was said?
Yeah, I'll just address it very quickly. What I want to do is actually do a thorough written response. Maybe I'll do an actual in-video response, but I haven't really perfectly determined what my response would be and be able to precisely articulate all my counter arguments to it.
See, just like him, just him talking like that already lets you know he's a nerd. But I don't think he tries to pretend that he's not a nerd. See, Fresh and Fit, they try to pretend like they're not nerds. Even though they are self-admitted nerds, they admitted that they're nerds, but they try to portray themselves as something, you know, other than nerds. The Kane the Pretender, he definitely tries to portray himself as something other than a nerd, but he's a nerd. The Brian dude right here, I think he's really a nerd, and I don't think he denies being a nerd. But hold on a second. Hold on, let's see. W1, good looking with the $5 holla. I can put some clarity on the situation. I went to Berkeley and know exactly what co-op he stayed at. He was 100% speaking terms with that gay dude. Right. Yeah, W1C. And I don't even have to be a Berkeley alumni or having, stayed at that co-op before to understand. But because you're familiar with that co-op and you went to that school, you already know what's up. You know what I mean? You know what happens there, and you know what doesn't happen there because you've experienced it. You can speak from experience. You know what I mean? And you just confirmed what I've been saying this whole time, that guy was not no stranger popping up at 10 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Like you said, they was definitely on speaking terms, and they wasn't just talking, they speaking terms wasn't just vocal language. It was some body language going on too. You know what I mean? Definitely on speaking terms with the body language, foreplay, vocal language, physical body language, all that. You dig? But yeah, I just want to play this some more of this clip with Brian addressing Fresh and Fit.
The brief answer would be, just as a point of clarity, basically, Fresh and Fit is a very similar podcast to ours. They started before us. I've repeatedly credited them to some degree as inspiration for the show. I've had nothing but positive things to say about them. I've said, I've shouted them out a whole bunch. I've reached out to both Myron and Fresh to attempt to arrange for a collaboration. We have some mutual connections that I've tried to get an intro that way. It's been clear to me for a very long time that they're not interested in collaborating, which is fine. I am not owed a collaboration, much in the same way that I do not owe anybody else who reaches out to me to want to collaborate with me. I don't have an issue with that. What I likely suspect is they view me as competition, ergo, they do not want to compete, or excuse me, they do not want to collaborate with a competitor in the same way that you might, for example, say, and shout out to Length or Gurf on Reddit for this one, Coca-Cola may not want to collaborate with Pepsi. I get it. Although what I would argue is that when it comes to the digital content creation space, it's not like a zero-sum game where if I have viewers, I'm taking away from their viewers. I don't really think that's how it works. I would compare it to like two musical artists, let's say two rap musicians.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like an all right guy, but what I was trying to get to, because the guy Fetty earlier said that these guys aren't dating coaches, I'm trying to get to the part where Brian here mentions how they have courses for sale.
Allowed to be more than one horror film. You're allowed to have more than one drama. You know, there's a lot of similarities. What I would say is they are not the first. And you're basically accusing me of grifting. I mean, again, there's a lot of things I could say. What I would point out is, again, actually, fuck it. Pull up Walter Weeks' Instagram about your guys' values because you're criticizing mine, and you're basically accusing me of grifting. I mean, again, there's a lot of things I could say. What I would point out is, again, actually, fuck it. Pull up Walter Weeks' Instagram. I think there might be a tab for it. I'm in it for the money. Pull it up. I'd like to remind you, actually go back really quick. So I still drive a car I bought 10 years ago, a $20,000 Toyota. I don't have any bling. I wear $20 flannels. I wear $5 black t-shirts. I wear sweatpants from Costco. Pull up Walter Weeks.
Hey, I want y'all to pay attention to that too. You know what I mean? Now, this is a guy with a platform. I believe the Whatever Podcast, their main channel, I think has like 5 million subscribers or close to it, or maybe even a little more than 5 million. But they in the 5 million range as far as subscriber base, right? And you notice how he said he still drives a car from 10 years ago. He doesn't have any bling. He pretty much wears like his clothes is probably from H&M or Target or something like that. You know what I mean? He's not a very flashy guy. But I guarantee you he's got some great investments going on. You dig? But I just had to point that out. You know, he's not consumer driven. He's production driven. You dig? Hold on a sec. Let me see here. Eat books. Good looking with the $2 holler. You dig? Dude stutters more than DJ Ack. Yeah, a lot of these guys. Academics is another nerd. You dig? But I don't think Ack really denies being a nerd. Well, he tries to act like he's cool, but he's still a nerd. But shout out to Ack, though.
Let's talk about the money. It's all about the money, right? Go down. Okay. Scroll down.
I'm trying to find where he says about them selling courses, man, because I know he mentioned that in his. Hold on.
Now, bear in mind, when Myron was saying that I'm in it for the money, Fresh was shaking his head like in disapproval that I'm just in it for the money. I don't know, your lifestyle is rather superficial, but pull it back up. The Instagram. Oh, okay, hold on.
Grid One
Hold on.
Motorsports donated $100. 1ST Violet, get out of CA and go find a tall, cool Texan to marry you. Second, Brian, I have some issues.
The extent of what I need to show. These accusations that I'm in it for the money. Meanwhile, you are sitting across from someone who, at least to me, appears to very much be in it for the money, given the lifestyle that he is trying to sell. He has multiple exotic cars.
Yeah, that's because they nerds and they finally get to be cool. I get that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to find this one part, though.
Backstory, I'm not going to get into all of it, but it's kind of silly because I don't think it's a zero-sum game. I think actually it'd be a very mutually beneficial. They don't respond to me. I've even just wanted to have a conversation. I just haven't followed up. You don't want to collaborate because I'm a competitor. There's a lot of things I could say about your guys' values because you're criticizing mine, and you're basically accusing me of grifting. I mean, again, there's charging people thousands of dollars.
Okay, here we go. This is the part I was
like,
looking for.
You cannot sit there and say, look, it's just like you cannot sit there and say I'm in it for the money when you guys are charging people thousands of dollars to go to your subscriber milestone parties. You're selling a $500 course on how to DM girls on Instagram. You're selling a $700 course on how to be a high value male. You are doing live events where you're selling VIP tickets. We do super chats. We do donations.
Okay, so like he just said, hey, I don't know. I just got to call it what it is, man. Hey, listen, if you pay somebody $500 to learn for a course that teaches you how to DM girls on Instagram, boy, it's crazy. You crazy if you did that. And bless your heart, man, because I know you just genuinely want some game, man. But if you paid Fresh and Fit $500 to learn how to DM girls on Instagram, bless your heart. Bless your heart. Po baby, man. Hey, so $500, they got a $500 course that teaches you how to DM women on Instagram, and a $700 course that teaches you how to be a high value man. Now, see, now I done kind of touched on all the nerds, right? Now I can get into this game. Now, listen, like I said, this is what the nerds ain't going to tell you. They not going to tell you how to identify the right type of woman for you, what to look for and what you want. Because I don't even know what this $500 course consists of. But if that's really what it's about, how to DM women on Instagram, if this $500 course is really about that, then, you know, it doesn't make sense if the course doesn't teach you how to identify the right woman. You know what I mean? Like DMing the right woman on Instagram. Like what is the basis that makes you decide to DM this woman? You know, like, are you just DMing women just because they're attractive? Because it's a whole bunch of attractive women on Instagram. I'll move as far as to say the majority all look attractive because they all got the same lace fronts. They all got the same eyelashes. They all got the same makeup. They all got the same tattoos. You know what I mean? It's like a million chicks on Instagram. They look exactly the same and they all look good on there. You dig? So, is that how you decide who to DM and who not to DM? Is just based on how attractive they are? You dig? Or if they can twerk good or something? Like how are you even deciding who to DM and why you're DMing them? Right? See, the beautiful thing about social media is that it tells you a whole lot about somebody if you know what to look for. You know what I mean? If you know what to look for. So are they teaching you how to look for the right things and identify the wrong things in a woman? You dig? Are they teaching you how to figure out what this woman wants out of life, what she's interested in? You know what I mean? And does that line up with what you want? Or, figuring out things about yourself before you even pursue a woman, so that when you do pursue a woman, you're better prepared to deal with a woman after you've identified the right things about yourself and taking inventory of yourself. Like, does this $500 course teach you these type of things? Because if it's all about what to say in the DM and how to say it and all this type of stuff, how do you know you saying it to the right woman? Or, is it like a cookie cutter thing? It's like you have these 5 things to say to a woman in the DM. If she got short hair, say this to her in the DM. If she got long hair, say this to her in the DM. If she's skinny, say this to her in the DM. If she thick, say this to her in the DM. If she's slim thick, say this to her in the DM. Like, is that, I don't know, man. That just sounds kind of crazy though. But hey, I don't, that just sounds kind of crazy to me, man. Jody Killer, good looking with the $5 holla. As a man, is it tricking to approach a woman and ask her out? And can I get a consultation with you? I only trust your expertise with my questions. Well, to answer the consultation question, I'm pretty sure that next month, sometime in February, I'm going to open up the consultations. And when I do, you'll be more than welcome to schedule one. But as of right now, I'm not doing them. But I more than likely will be doing them starting next month. But as far as approaching a woman and asking her out, that in and of itself is not tricking. You know what I mean? That necessarily ain't tricking. You dig? Because you just asking her on a date. Now, if you telling her you want to pay her to go on a date with you, you dig? Or watch this. Like, if you think that she will only go on a date with you if it's to a certain kind of place, like it has to be the fanciest restaurant, it has to be an expensive restaurant, or else she ain't gonna go. You know what I mean? She ain't gonna go to IHOP. She ain't gonna go on a date to IHOP with you. She ain't gonna go on a date to the Waffle House with you. You know what I mean? That might be your budget. You did. Of course, these ain't places that, anybody would take a first date to, but hey, that might be your budget. You might tell her like, look, you know what I mean? I ain't really got it like that right now, but I really would like to take you out. You know what I mean? But some chicks, okay, like for real though, you know what I mean? You got some chicks that'll, like, I'm trying to think of a cool restaurant that ain't like the most expensive, like Chili's or Texas Roadhouse or Lucille's or some Applebee's, Olive Garden. Those are cool places for a first date, but some chicks will turn their nose up at you if you offer to take them on a first date to these places. Some chicks, you tell them you want to take them to Chili's, they gonna look at you crazy, right? So if you take a chick to, let's say, Mastro's on the first date, or Morton Steakhouse on the first date, or Lowry's Steakhouse on the first date, or Fogo de Chao on the first date. Like, if you taking her to these places on the first date, and the only reason why you're taking her there is not because that's where you want to go, you're taking her there because you know that if you take her to a less prestigious or a less expensive place, she's not going to go with you. That's tricking. Basically, what tricking is when you do something to get a woman's attention because, you know, you can't get it just being yourself. You have to spend money or treat her to something that, you know, is beyond yourself. Like, she's not there for you. You know, and she knows that she's there for whatever money is being spent, whether it's handing her money or, again, like I said, taking her to a certain type of restaurant only because you know you can't take her to a lesser restaurant, because basically it's more about the restaurant than it is you. That's when it's tricking. You know what I mean? So if you ask a chick on a date, just asking her on a date, no, that's not necessarily tricking. But if where the date is, if it's more about that than it is about you and her getting to know you, then that's definitely tricking. Because, and then in that kind of case, what's most likely going to happen, like if you take the chick to Morton Steakhouse, when you get in there, she going to be taking more pictures than she is having conversations with you. She might go live. And of course, she ain't going to show you in the live, but she going to show that she's at Mastro's Steakhouse, you know, Ocean Prime or whatever, wherever y'all at. She going to be showing all of that. She going to be showing the background. You know, she going to show her plate. She going to show her glass of wine or champagne or whatever it is. She going to show the bottle, you know, but she ain't going to show you. You dig? And, you know, it's going to be dudes talking to her in the chat. It's going to be dudes in her DM while she's sitting there with you. That's when it's tricking. When it's more about the place than it is about you, and she ain't even showing no interest in you. You can't even hold a conversation with her. You trying to spark up a conversation with her, but she just totally disengaged. She ain't even entertaining you, man. She ain't even thinking about you. You was just her ticket up in there. That's when it's tricking. Short change, you stupid. You said I had steak from Sizzler, never again. That's funny. Jack Mack, good looking with the $1 holler, you dig? But yeah, man. That's when it's tricking. You know, I know some people will say like, man, you bought her a large French fry, man. That's tricking, man. You know, players, man, we buy the bitch the small fry, man. You can't buy her no large fries, man. You let her supersize her value meal, man. You gave her the supersize. Oh, you big old tricking, man. You know what I mean? Nah, that's not people's idea what tricking is, man. Is totally off track. Now, don't get it confused. Don't get it misunderstood. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with taking a chick to a fancy restaurant. What I'm saying is if it's more about the location than it's about her interest in you, that's when it's a problem. That's when it's tricking. You dig? That's what I'm saying. Jack Mack, good looking again with the $5 holler. Why should I stick with tricking and not try to find somebody simply off of who I am? I feel worthless when resorting to tricking. Yeah, man, you not listening to what I'm saying, man. You dig? I done gave you enough. You might have to watch this video on the replay, man, because I gave you enough. You dig? But ain't nothing wrong with tricking, man. You just tricking you got the wrong mindset. You got the wrong outlook on tricking. Go watch this video on the replay, man, and it'll give you some greater understanding, because I gave you everything you needed to know as far as a starting point. You dig? Watch this thing on the replay, man. Ain't nothing wrong with tricking. You dig? Some of the most successful people out there is tricks, man. You see what's going on with this Epstein shit and the list and everything like that. All them high caliber tricks, man. You think they over there saying that? No. Hell no. They gladly tricking. They still tricking. You know what I mean? They mad Epstein Island ain't going on no more. They want to go to Epstein Island still again. Bad. Right now. You dig? E-books, good looking with the $2 holla. Is being cheap a good strategy for tricks? No. No. Because that's like anything else that's cheap. Most things that are cheap are of poor quality. And it's not to say that everything that's expensive is the best quality, but it's usually guaranteed that when you go for cheap, you're taking a hit on quality. That's just like if you a basketball player and you go to Payless to get some basketball shoes, the quality of those shoes ain't going to be up to par. They're not going to be what you need. You might be able to play in them shoes one time and that's it. They're going to fall apart. You know what I mean? The seam's going to bust open. You know, as soon as you try to do a pick and roll or something like that, you know what I mean? Them shoes going to fall apart. First pick and roll, it's over with for them Payless basketball shoes. You dig? So as you can see, it's the same thing with tricking. If you try to do some budget, some Payless tricking, you know what I mean, some Walmart tricking, you know, if you try to do some dollar menu tricking, then you know you're gonna get what you pay for. You dig? That's why I said I really need to do a video. I've been saying it, but I really need to do a video about wise tricking. You know, and encouraging tricks on how to trick accordingly, man, because, you know, it's a lot of tricks out there tricking for the wrong reasons. But at the same time, it's understandable because it's a lot of chicks out there in the game that's in the game for the wrong reasons. So they not real 304s. I know the selection of 304s out there for y'all is, you know, it's limited. You dig? But the beautiful thing is, you know, when you go higher up the totem pole, it might not be as much variety, but it's definitely going to be the quality that you should want. You dig? Right, like Chris say no. Chris Hollow say no to Payless tricking, man. No Payless tricking in 2024 and beyond. Yeah, but he books you wild. Yeah, but I ain't elite. I love my bust down. Sinful said it best. Cheap hoes are the nastiest. Yeah. But again, there's certain things that come with the cheapness. You know, like the dice roll on health, the gamble with health. Yeah, they the nastiest, but they the most volatile as well. You know, they the nastiest, but they might give you something that you can't get rid of. You dig? So yeah. Yeah, the bust downs, man, they cool, they quick and easy and all that, but man, shit. It's certain problems that you taking a gamble on, man, that ain't cool. Uncompensate, they come with STDs. Yeah, you know, and it's not guaranteed. All the bust downs ain't like that. You got some bust downs that have some type of dignity, but a good portion of them, I'll go as far as to say the majority of them don't. You dig? They just want to feel good. Why guys tricking on fatties, toothless, tattooed on face? You crazy short change. Yeah, man, but ain't nothing wrong with tricking, man. You know, but back to these guys, man. The bottom line is, I don't want y'all to think that these guys are experts. And the best advice that you're going to get is from somebody who has experience. You want to get advice from somebody who's made mistakes and learned from their mistakes. You dig? You don't want to get advice from somebody who got all their knowledge from study and none of it from experience. You dig? Jack Mack, good looking with the $10 holler once again. How's gambling like tricking? I heard you say that in a video. I'm trying to think of what you're talking about. I might have used gambling as an analogy. Well, gambling can be like tricking in the sense of it being addictive. You dig? Hold on a second. Let me put some love in my body real quick, man, while I pop this shit. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you step to a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button, man. Excuse my pimping. But yeah, tricking. I done messed the two words together, trickling. No, gambling and tricking, one way that they're alike is, like I said, as far as the addictive aspect of it. Because, people, that's just like you. You know what I mean? You might be addicted to tricking. It's a very high likelihood that you're addicted to tricking. And you've probably done some desperate things for the sake of tricking. Just like a gambler might do some desperate things for the sake of gambling. It's all to reach a certain sensation. It's all to, get that satisfaction, that gratification. You dig? So they definitely similar in that way. Hold on. Oliver the Third, good looking with the $5 holler, man. Foot Locker trick in 2024. Yeah, man. No Payless tricking, man. Foot Locker tricking, man. For sure, for sure. They see me trolling, you stupid. Man, we getting a trick crash course tonight. Yeah, man, as soon as I start talking about tricking, man, they start hitting me with all the questions, man. But it's all good, because I encourage tricking. Nothing wrong with tricking as long as you being smart with your tricking and wise with your tricking. It's all good. You dig? I want tricks to be greater tricks than they was in 2023, in 2024. I want you to do some greater tricking. I want you to do some legendary Hall of Fame Olympic decathlon tricking. You dig? I want you to do some Hall of Fame tricking. You know, why be a trick if you just gonna be average? Why be a trick if you just gonna be a low budget, you know what I mean? And then, 9 times out of 10, you work hard all week. You busting your ass at work, man, every day. 40, some of y'all 50 and 60 hours a week, man. You doing all that to do some Payless tricking? You know what I mean? Some bubblegum tricking? Come on, man. At least make some aspect of your life, legendary and memorable, man. You might not be the most athletic person. You might not be the best athlete. You know what I mean? You might not be the most intellectual person. You might not be a scholar. You dig? But hey, man, you could be a Hall of Fame ass trick, though. I know that. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody else tell you different, man. Freeze told you, man. Hey, you could be a Hall of Fame ass trick. That's what you can do. You dig? And I highly and strongly encourage you to do that. You know what I mean? Go all out with your tricking. Have the best time. You know what I mean? Trick on somebody that, is high maintenance. They keep themselves together. Trick on somebody who has good conversation and ain't gonna flash on you when you say something that she don't want. You say something she don't want you to say, or you disagree with her or something like that, and she getting disrespectful. Trick on some high caliber 304, man. Trick on somebody that got some class. Trick on somebody that look like they just came from heaven, and it took a team of angels to put their appearance together. You dig? Trick on somebody like that. You know what I mean? Trick on somebody that, ain't dusty and ratchet and funky. You know what I mean? Trick on somebody that's classy, high caliber, a professional 304. You dig? They out there, man. And you probably don't, see a real trick. Like I've said before, another thing about real, professional seasoned tricks, man. Hey, high caliber tricks, man, they like messing with 304s that got some pimping in their life. You dig? That's just like Once Upon a Time. And Sinful talked about it before. You've probably heard some other veteran P's talk about it before, like back in the day. It used to be a time in a lot of places where, a 304 couldn't even be down, unless she had folks. The police was going to run her off if she didn't have no man. You dig? So, there's been different points in time where everybody could appreciate the pimping, man. The police appreciate the pimping for keeping 304s in line and on track. And, tricks appreciate 304s for the same reason, man. So, again, it ain't your duty or your business to find out if a chick got some folks or not. But you can tell when a chick moves with order, when she moves with class and grace and game. Yeah, you could tell she got some folks in her life, man. Blow a bag on her, man, that's gonna make her sick. Do some high caliber tricking, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it, you dig? Game King, good looking with the $10 holler, man. Freeze, I hope you don't mind this plug, but y'all dudes need to join the Remnant. Go see Mr. Andre Taylor and get your mind right. Of course not. Of course not. I don't mind that plug, man. That's my bro. Yeah, definitely join the Remnant, man. Definitely go to Andre Taylor to his to join his courses, man. For sure, for sure. I highly recommend and strongly advise you to do that. E-books, good looking again with the $5 holla. Rappers and athletes not only take L's for tricking, but also wife them up. Is it possible to overpay for cheapness? Oh yeah, man. It's a whole lot of cats doing that, man. See, certain guys don't know how to identify quality. They let their little head lead, man, as Simple to P love to say. When a man's manhood is alive, he brain dead. And that's what happens with a lot of these athletes and rappers. You dig? They some people just be fools with money. And they don't think about quality, and they don't think about, see, like I've said before, right? This is how a lot of these guys get into these situations. Because they get with these chicks and they wife them up, and they don't know how to identify real 304s, man. See, if they was to mess with real 304s, not promiscuous sleazuts that just are easy takedowns, and they trick on them, spend money on them, and then end up wifing them up. Now, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about real professional 304s, man. A lot of these rappers and athletes and stuff like that, and I ain't talking about P-Zorn stars neither. You know what I mean? I'm talking about real 304s, not sex workers. 304s, man. You dig? Yeah, I'm talking about real 304s, man. If a lot of these rappers and athletes resorted to that, they'd be much better off, man. Because by them messing with these scallywags, these bottom of the barrel chicks, they don't have no ethics. They don't have no dignity. They don't have nothing that they stand for. They don't have any integrity. They don't have any respect. Right? They don't have any value. These chicks that they be coming across and, like you said, wifing them up and stuff like that. So they don't be having nothing to lose. So because they have nothing to lose, they don't care about you losing everything as a rapper and an athlete with a fortune. That's why you see all of these dudes with these situations going on. All these chicks crying wolf. Me too, me too, me too. Yeah, he did it to me too. You dig? That's why you see all that stuff going on. Because these cats, they think with their small head. They don't think with their big head. So they put themselves in compromising situations. And they don't understand it's like giving a baby the keys to a Ferrari. That's what they doing. It's bound to crash and burn. When you get these chicks, these thoughts who don't stand on nothing and ain't got nothing to live for, ain't important to nobody, ain't important to theyself. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing important to them but feeling good. You dig? When you gamble with your freedom and your fortune on somebody like that, that's what it is. You're giving the keys to a Ferrari to a baby and expecting them to go straight and, and get there safely and all that type of shit. Hell nah, y'all finna crash and burn, man. You dig? Yeah, I'm gonna answer questions for a few more minutes, man, before we wrap this thing up. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you step to a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button, man. Let's see. Hey, boy. Hey, short change. You ain't never lied. Boy, you said some of the realest shit right there, especially if they think you cute. Renegades will smoke with you, get drunk with you and let you smash for the free and not for the fee. Yeah. And see, it'd be cool for the, the quick smash and everything like that. But, a lot of cats, man, they be these rappers and athletes, man, them be the type of chicks like bro said just a minute ago that they be wifing, man, which is crazy. And I don't know what makes somebody think, but that's the thing. See, I know a lot of cats ain't experienced this nowadays, right? Especially depending on the type of chicks that you talk to. But I remember, man, it used to be a time where chicks, was more resistant. It used to be a time where chicks weren't so easy. I know them type of chicks still exist, but it used to be a lot more of them back in the days. That, y'all get along with each other. And, she'd be like, oh, nah, I ain't ready for that yet. I want to get to know you more. Hey, man, them type of chicks, boy, they damn near extinct now. Damn near all these chicks is letting you bust them down immediately. You dig? And because, like I said, a lot of them is sensationalists, man. They just want to feel good. So, like, Short Change just said, man, yeah, it's a whole bunch of renegades that's going to bust it open like that. Three oh fours be like, are you black? I don't date blacks. But yeah, they'll date somebody that's not black that's a maniac, though. You know what I mean? Because they don't know how to properly screen individuals. And they think that's just the solution to, not date blacks. Now, that's a lot of reasons why, a chick shouldn't date blacks, and depending on where you are in the country, it might make a whole lot of sense to date black men, or it might make no sense at all to date black men. It just depends on what part of the country you in, or what part of the world you in. As a man, I know you deal with things. Freeze, we appreciate you. Kaylin Ward, good looking, man. Appreciate you. E-books, you wild. I'm cheap with the tricking, but I spare no expense with rubbers and pull out game. That's wild, man. That's good, though. At least you being safe, man. But just as well as I do, though, E-books, them chicks that you being cheap with, a lot of them probably don't care about the rubber. It's you that cares about the rubber. So that right there should tell you a lot, man. That's why I say, man, high caliber tricking this year, man. Hall of Fame tricking, man. Y'all need to start like a trick Olympics, man. Like how they got the stripper Olympics. They need to do the trick Olympics, man. Who can make it rain the best? Who can make it tsunami the best? Who can make it, I don't know, maybe they got category 5 thunderstorm, tsunami, hurricane tricking. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then whoever the winner is, they name a hurricane after you. Like if your name is Timothy, you know what I mean, and you win the trick Olympics with the tsunami, you know what I mean? They name a hurricane like Hurricane Timothy in the club. Like, oh shit, he doing the Hurricane Timothy right now. Oh man, for real though. Waterson 10, good looking with the $5 holler. You dig? What part in the country is okay and not okay to date blacks? Well, one city, or one, not city but place, district, if you will, that was historically okay for chicks to date blacks, but I don't know about these days because it's been heavily gentrified, and that's Washington D.C. You know, when Washington D.C. was how it was historically, like Chocolate City, you know, it was a lot of money in D.C. It probably still is. I ain't been to D.C. in a lot of years, but back in the day when D.C. was still Chocolate City and it was predominantly black, and it wasn't safe for white people to walk their dogs at night around there like it is now. It was a lot of money in D.C., and a lot of them black tricks out there, you know, was you know, they was some good tricks. D.C. had some good black tricks back in the day. So it made a lot of sense for a 304 to date black tricks out there. Florida is another place where it makes sense for a 304 to date black tricks. You know, probably not everywhere in Florida, but certain places in Florida. One place that it definitely don't make sense for a chick to date black tricks is anywhere on the West Coast. Nowhere on the West Coast does it make sense for a chick to date black tricks at all. I don't care if he 60 years old, 50 years old, 40 years old. Hey, you know what I mean? Because you got chicks that'll be like, oh, they'll put it on their ad. No black tricks under 40. Or no black clients no black men under 40. Like it ain't, you know, con artists or, you know, people with tricks up their sleeve that's over 40 years old. Like it ain't people that's going to play games with you or be up to no good over 40 years old. Like being up to no good got an age limit. Being crafty got an age limit. Being scandalous got an age limit. You know? And that's how, you know, whenever you see a chick that got that on her ad, no black men under 40 or something of that nature, or, you know, that's how you know a chick ain't got no game. You know what I mean? Or if she got on there, no law enforcement, no pimps, like, you know, everybody's supposed to just follow her instructions, man. That's how you know she ain't got no game. Because one thing about marketing, when you market, you're supposed to market to the solution, not the problem. You know? And, you know, you're supposed to encourage people to do what you want them to do when you marketing. You know, you ain't gonna never go to Target and see an advertisement at Target that tells you, don't go to Walmart. Don't buy your underwear from Walmart. Don't buy your body wash from Walmart. Don't buy your laundry detergent from Walmart. Buy it from Target. You ain't gonna never see that. You know what I mean? What you will see is Target, you know, encouraging you to spend money with them and why, and, you know, so on and so forth. And same thing with Walmart. You ain't gonna never see Walmart saying, don't spend your money with Target. Or don't steal out of here. Don't do this. Don't come in here. Nah. They gonna encourage you to do what they want. They're not gonna talk about what they don't want you to do or what they don't want. So on the same token, a 304, she's gonna market towards the solution. She gonna market towards the type of individual that she want to spend money on her. You dig? Not the type of person that she don't want to spend money on her. Eat books. Good looking with the $2 holler once again. Should I trust her when she claims she on the pill? Hell no, you crazy. You know better than that, man. If you gotta ask that question, you tripping. Maybe you just checking the pimp's temperature or something like that. That's crazy. Should you trust her if she says she on the pill? Hell no, because even if she is on the pill ain't 100%. You know? And then she might not be consistent on the pill, so the pill might not even be doing what it's supposed to do. You dig? Don't gamble like that, man. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up, man. Let me put some love in my body one last time before we get up out of here. Yes. All right, man. We're going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate y'all for all your comments, your jokes, your questions, your good feedback, input, all that. I appreciate you for sharing this video. I appreciate you for subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate you for all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for your support in every which way that it comes with it, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is, man. Freeze is it. If you out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out.